We are at Grandma and Grandpa Sampo's. This is their little house in Green Bay, Wisconsin. There's our van. We're visiting them tonight, and we're going to do some interviewing of them. And this is Dan's mom's mother and father. So this is actually Caleb's great grandma and mother. And they live at 817. It's called Columbia Avenue. And here you can see the block both ways. So Dad used to come here when he was little, growing up in Green Bay. And he used to stay over at Grandma's house and do lots of playing around. So we're going to come in and we're going to interview Grandma and Grandpa. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're inside the house at Grandma and Grandpa's. And we're making this for Caleb and Jillian and any other children we have, and we'll be able to copy this on. So when they get older, they can always go back and look at their tape and see what Grandma and Grandpa, actually great Grandma and Grandpa, are like. Right, Caleb? Right. So we're going to ask them some questions out of the grandparents' book. And it's actually just to get an idea of like what your life was growing up and how you guys met and all that stuff. Okay. And I've got Mom here too to help me. So, okay. So normally what we do is give this to grandparents and ask them to fill it out, but there's lots of stuff. So we thought it'd be fun to get on
video
tape. Yeah. So to start out with, we're going to interview you guys and find out where were both of you born and where were you born and all that stuff.
That's nice.
Yeah. So you can tell us
I was born in Duck Creek, Wisconsin. Now it's called the town of Howard. And that's where Grandpa met me. No, he didn't meet me.
I met him on Ashland Avenue.
In South Ashland.
This was right after you guys were born, or?
No, after we were dating.
Well,
you're pretty far down the road.
You're jumping ahead of us.
My friend was talking to her on the telephone, I talked to her and dated her.
Where were you born?
So Grandma, you were born in Duck Creek? Were you born in a house or were you born in the hospital?
No, in the house. They never took me to the hospital. No.
Okay.
And then a midwife took care of me.
Uh-huh.
You know what they are.
Where were you born?
Take care of you.
Yep. They still have them.
They still have
Grandpa,
them.
where were you born?
Out here on Dawson, on Dawson, across from Grandma and Grandpa Views.
Hey, we can take a picture
Green
of the house
Bay?
on the way home.
It was in Green
Is that
Bay.
in the city of Green Bay?
He was born out on the street.
The house has been all remodeled since I was back.
I can show you the house.
Okay, we'll go by it and see it later. And what year, can you tell us what year I don't know, do you feel comfortable telling us what year you were born?
1920.
And when was Grandpa born?
April 23rd, 1917.
Oh, you want to know the first one?
Yeah,
May the 20th.
May the 20th? 1920. Okay.
Dan?
Yes.
There's a strip here. It says T at the top and W at the bottom. Is that the battery?
No, that's the, that's telephoto or wiring.
Oh, okay.
That just tells
Okay.
you
I'm sorry. Just want to be sure we weren't dying here. Or losing power.
No, we should be okay. So then, just like can you give us like a brief history of both of your parents? Like where they came from and that sort of thing? Can you do that? Or who your parents were and what they did?
My dad was done concrete work, and he died real young. He was 50 years old when he died. And I don't know where my dad was. Was he born? I don't even know anymore.
Was he born? He was born in Green Bay also, or around this area?
Must have been.
I don't know where Grandpa was born. They're all from Green Bay, though. So.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it?
Grandpa was my dad was born.
What was his name? What was
George.
George Green.
George Green.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And your mom was?
Clara Swartz, and then she married my dad.
Where was Clara born?
Well, let me see. She was born in Grandma Swartz, by Grandma Swartz.
In that house that was up on the hill?
Oh, no. Not on the hill.
East of the Grandma's.
Yeah, you know, it was back off the road there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There's apartment buildings there now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
This is over by where the Valley Theater used to be.
Yeah.
The outdoor theater. This is where one of Green Bay's outdoor theaters used to be, and now it's gone.
There's apartments there.
Yep.
They didn't make any money, so they closed it up.
And Grandpa, what were your parents' names?
Mr. and Mrs.
No, say Charlotte was your
Joseph
mother.
and Charlotte Sampo.
Charlotte was a view.
Charlotte was a view.
Okay.
The View's founded Green Bay. How do you like that?
The Views came over from Belgium.
It says in the archives they came from France.
Well,
And
France
the
or Belgium.
Champos came from Belgium. That's what it says up in,
Marie
at
said,
Brown County.
you know what you said? Mary wants me to make a family tree. Do you know how to make a family tree of my side of the family and your?
Oh, I did that already. Beth and I did that, I just gotta find it.
Okay,
So, Dan.
let's keep moving on here. Okay, so what was your house like when you were very young, before you guys met? So or what was it like living, like your house and?
Well, I lived in my house. Our house was brick, and red brick, and it burnt. My mother said to my father, "Oh, I hear a cracking on the roof," and she says, "Look and see." She opened the closet door. She carried some stuff out. We had a bird and threw it in the bird cage outside in the snow. It was in at 2:30 in the morning. She said, "What's that cracking upstairs? Take a look and see what it is." The house, the shingles was on fire. At 2:30 in the morning, we had to look for our clothes to get out of that house before it. And when it burnt, the 3 walls was up. There was 1 wall in the house that I don't even remember anymore. But my grandfather lived with us too, my dad's father. He was a real tall man.
What was his name?
His name was,
Henry? No.
no. Oh God, I don't forget. Charles, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he's buried out in Fort Howard Cemetery. And my dad isn't buried there. My dad is buried in
Kalkana.
Kakana, yeah. And what else do you want to know about it?
Well, you were about 12 when your house burned to the ground, like, or 13.
And did you have like electricity in your house, or TV or telephone?
No telephone. You use a crank. You know, you had to go to the neighbors to do the phone, and you just cranked it. And no, we didn't have no telephone.
Mentor the station.
And help them when you get to a telephone.
Because it blurs everything.
Thought you had nothing down there, you just telephone.
No. We went to your relation that lived on where Leona used to live. And sometimes I know you was coming through with the Press Gazette. That's after we were married.
Okay, and so, and Grandpa, what was like that? What was the house like that you grew up in?
Well, my dad repaired things for everyone else. We had an outside toilet, no lights.
Yeah, we had outside toilet too.
The water was a pump outside the house
Uh-huh.
until they put the water into the street. Then they put the sewer in. We went and got the toilet in the house.
Okay.
The house is still standing there yet. After my dad died, we sold the house. And none of us wanted to go live in it anymore.
Uh-huh.
They had a toilet, was underneath the stairs.
Yeah. It used to be a
No
cupboard.
tub.
You know what that used to be? That was a cupboard years ago, but when we started doing it, when we had it, when us three boys had to go sleep upstairs, Grandpa had Uncle Benny or somebody come over and and made the stairway to go up the stairs. That cupboard was all knocked out and the stairway went up. Then they put the toilet in there.
Okay.
Of course, went in that toilet to go down the basement too, underneath the house.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I always found it interesting. What was the first car that you guys owned?
Model T. Oh,
Model T Ford.
no, the first car was, well, yeah, the Model T Ford was brought to my dad. It was funny, they thought, I never had to take driver's license. I used to watch them when they were teaching my dad how to drive that Model T. One day when they were gone out of town, I went out there and started the car, and the neighbor kid and I went for a ride and it came back and it snowed a little bit. There was a little snow in the backyard there. Well, see, they had to drive alongside the kitchen. They didn't have it in the garage.
Uh-huh.
And I took a broom out and swept it around. When they came home, Grandpa said, "What happened here?" I said, "Oh, the wind blew a little harder here." Grandpa, I think, knew what happened. He never said a word. He didn't say anything. He bopped his head out in the yard.
Imagine used to come and see me out in the country, ride down the railroad track with a bicycle.
Grandma used to ride on a bicycle? Or?
Grandpa,
You took a bike to date her? How'd you go out on a date with a bike?
Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, okay? So, Grandma, did your family have a car growing up?
They had a car?
No.
Not right away, but later then they had a Model A.
Uh-huh.
Grandma used to say, "I'm going to tell you, this is really a good joke." We had 2 of my aunts, they're twins, but one, yeah, they were still alive, but now one of us only left. But she'd say to my mother would go by Sampo school, and she'd say, jump out and see if a train is coming before you go across
Push
the track.
across the tracks, jump out and go see what train's coming.
It's funny.
How fast do the cars go by train?
Not very fast, but you
My
always
Maltese went about 25. Top speed was 30 and you were off the ground almost.
do what Grandpa did when he's smart.
Maltese went really drove the best at 25
Here, I
miles
made
an
this
hour.
quilt. Ain't it pretty? And I'm going to show you. I ain't done with it yet, but I'm going to.
Grandma, you're getting off the subject. I'm the moderator here.
You'll have to show it at the
The
end.
next one you can show
I'm just,
us. Actually, Grandma's selling these quilts. This is like a little paid advertisement.
I'm just like a kid.
She loves being videotaped.
Right?
You love
Share-
being videotaped. It's like being a star.
Infomercial. Shares in a show pretty soon.
Okay, hurry up, ask the next
The
question.
next question is, so how did you guys meet?
How do we meet?
Uh-huh.
Oh, he's going to tell you. He does his story good. Go ahead.
I used
Franny Goodrich.
I used to take care of my sister's kids when my mother and dad and them would go to the show on Friday night. What happened? I was sitting there and Franny Goodrich come over by me. And what happened? He calls up her. What happened? I talked to her and made a date for the next night. So what happened? Franny says, you ain't getting away with that. I'm going to date her. I'm going to go with her sister. So I went to pick her up and then went out to Grandma Green's and picked up Auntie Oni and then we went to the show together.
That was your first date.
That was the first date.
Did you guys know each other? Like, did you go to school together at all?
Oh,
No,
blind
we
date?
didn't know each other.
Blind date. It was a blind date.
Blind date. It was like
And how old were you guys when you had your blind date?
Well,
about 20 years
I
old.
think I was
wasn't
17.
Now you stuck out on your parents, I assume, right?
She was looking.
I was working out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, who's
Caleb.
that?
That was Caleb. Caleb, come here.
Of course, about that time I was
Caleb,
working.
no, he is
Caleb, no, leave the door alone.
I started working.
Leave the door open, please.
On the news as a truck
Can't
driver
get it open.
for extra papers. And
Here's some
Yeah,
black
paper
kid
boy.
that's gonna have black hair
And the
like
boss saw
grandma.
him and knew that. He called me in the office and hired me to go to work.
Uh-huh.
That's what I always say, kid, about why go look for a job. I didn't have to look for a job. The boss told me to come in and go to work.
Uh-huh. Okay, so now
That
we're
was in
going to go to...
1934. I was 17 years old. I
Start
started
working
working
So you started working before. You
working
started
when I first
working...
in the mail room after school.
Uh-huh.
50 cents a day, $3 a week in them days was my money. I
Yeah.
paid my own way through West High School.
So you used to have to pay to go to
Afford it.
school, huh?
Huh?
Yeah, you used to have to pay to go to school? You used to have to pay to go to school. to high
Well, yeah,
school.
we had to pay. Them days, yeah, I had to pay to go to West High.
Uh-huh.
That's where the $3 a week came in handy.
Uh-huh.
I had to pay my way through school, pay for my books, and do everything.
Uh-huh.
But working out the price of that after school.
Okay.
In fact, I was playing there till I was a junior or senior. I think it was a senior or something like that. And no, I was a junior. I wasn't sure of course, junior. They didn't want to leave me out of school early to get to the press gazette
Patience.
to go work at the press in the milling room. What happened? I was going to quit. And Ted Dose at the press gazette called up the principal and talked to him. He was telling him to come on in and see me.
Uh-huh.
The next day I went in to see Mr. Cole, the manager, the principal, and after he took care of some kids that were late, he said, "What do you want to see me about?" I always said, "I know what you want." That's here, okay. Give us some time back to school. You can get out. We used to get out 10 after 3 at school. I got out 10 minutes to 3.
Uh-huh.
You give me
You guys
gave me the same. I was learning printing, and I was in a print shop all the time.
Uh-huh.
Learned to be a printer, and I was in the back of the school where the back door was right there. I just get out, go right off to work
Uh-huh.
at 10 minutes to 3 every day
On your bicycle.
on a bicycle and also with a car too. But I say it
You want to know about
was about September, just about September 1934.
Model T.
Right about the end of August, September, right in September 1934 is when I got that job working in the milling room with the Press Gazette.
Uh-huh.
I worked for 37 and a half years till we went on strike.
Uh-huh. Wow. That's a long
Okay, so where were you working, Mom?
I was working. I worked for lots of people.
Blue balls?
Blue balls.
Is that where you... Boo balls, not blue balls.
time. What is a blue ball?
Boo balls, that's
You
it.
know,
Blue balls?
I got
Boo.
four.
How do you spell it? B-U-B-O-L-Z.
Yeah.
Caleb, can you spell that?
He was an attorney.
So you used to work as like a...
House
A
girl.
housemaid. I was a maid.
Ooh, that sounds kind of risque. What does that mean?
And when Christmas would come around, he paid my mother extra. She'd come and make the dinner because when I started there, I think I was 17, and they like their wieners. They like wieners on every night for supper was wieners. He said, you can go home by your mother if you want to with the bike. He used to ride the bicycle. And when I got home and I come back, and he said, you gotta be home. He says, back for breakfast in the morning at 5:30. And I said, well, what do you want for breakfast? Oh, just give me that good cheese in the jar. It's got worms in it. And there was no worms in it.
He did every day, he walks his dog.
So how long did you work at Blue Balls?
Boo balls.
But he's one.
Blue ball.
How long did you work there, Ma?
I worked there. His first wife passed away, and after she died, then I didn't work there anymore. I could have stayed there, I suppose, but I didn't want to stay with all them men. So I quit them and got a different. I worked a lot of places. Worked out. Well, he liked it there, and I'll tell you, the first night for the date to come there, and I was hoping that one guy would go home and my sister would go home. I wish my sister stay in the car, and no, he said, so he wouldn't let me go in the house. I said, I gotta have a kiss, and I said, I a kiss on the first night.
No, wait a sec, Grandma, you said you gotta have a kiss?
No, I'm not getting out of your car until you kiss me. No, he said that. Didn't you say that, honey?
Funny how that first date though, when I told Grandma what it was, when she came home, but how I had a date the next night, it says, I'd go walk with her from Blue Balls to the show. She looked at my brother-in-law, Joe, he can use your car, can he? Of course, my Joe and I really go along.
What kind was a Chevrolet?
Yeah, guys, sure, he could use the car tomorrow night. That's what I'm trying to go to make sure he came along, so we went out there by Grandma Green's first and got Matthew, so you could take her to the show too.
Now when you
And
say...
we went in the store, at the Cox restaurant, and got each a bag of jelly beans. That's what we got.
You this romantics, you. Now, so you guys went to the show. Now, is that anything like a movie?
Huh?
Did you guys look? Was it
Like a
anything like a
movie?
Right,
movie?
theater, just
What
running.
theater did you
Right,
go
at
to?
theater. I don't remember if it was the Bay Theater or the
Well, I don't know.
Strand we went to, one of them.
Yeah, they had all kinds of shows in Green Bay. They had the Orpheum, and they had the Bay Theater, and they had
Grand, Grand,
And the
the
West.
Grand,
the West.
and the West. There's lots of shows.
Used to have a
And how
theater in the
much, how
Bay
much was it?
How much did you have to
too.
pay to get her in?
Oh crap, it was only cost, I don't know what that time, about 25 or 40 cents or something.
Not very much.
Price was low back then. Wow. Well, as a kid, we went to the show, how many years for 10 cents?
Now we're backing up again.
Okay, let's keep going forward. Okay, so you started dating. How long did you guys? How long was the courtship before you guys got married?
I don't know. I'm not 3 years or three.
Yeah, you were almost 21.
Okay, that Caleb.
I
Ding
was
dong.
20, it would be 23. I was 23, or was I?
Yeah, you were
I was going to be 23, I
We
think.
were married in St. John's Baptist
Ding
Church,
dong.
and he's
Yeah, it's in the
Here
kitchen.
comes a funny story.
Here's a place. We went at the priest said, take Dolores Green for your wife. And then Grandpa
Yeah,
standing there.
gotcha.
Sweet answer. Oh God, my sister and
So wait, what did Grandpa say when he asked him?
he says, I'll do it.
He said, "I'll do it."
But,
No, I do, he said.
I think Barbara still did complaints about that to this day. I didn't ask him, I asked my friend that I was telling with, Bob
Franny.
Sandy.
Oh, Bob Sandy, I think you
Bob
had good
Sandy,
rates.
no,
Oh,
Bob
okay.
Sandy,
Yeah, Bob Sandy stood. Yeah, he was with
Bob
us.
Sandy still.
And we were going
We should have gotten out one of the wedding pictures out of the...
I got a picture of our wedding picture.
Yeah.
Would you like a picture?
Now, well, we will. We'll get it on video a little bit later. So we just want to keep hearing the stories. So
Okay.
who was your maid of honor, Grandma, in your wedding?
I made
Aunt
it
Leona.
my sister.
Okay.
Leona, she married a Niger.
And our best man was Bob Santee. He's no longer here anymore. And when we were going to be married, was it how many years? We were going to have him too, and then for
Anniversary.
anniversary. But he had passed away, and I didn't know what to do. Then we just left as it was. So.
Okay. And then you guys were married, and then where did you live after you were married? In your first, did you have a house, or did you guys
Oh
live in an
yeah,
apartment?
where we left.
We moved in with Grandma Sampo for a while. Then from there we moved out and
And then upstairs, we was upstairs as a mouse was running.
yeah, but we moved
Trying to
up-
change the
we
bed,
went
and
in a
there
short
was a
time.
mouse in the
We went out and
bed.
lived in Elmer's house in De Pere. I always call that house the honeymoon house.
Well, I didn't know you lived at Elmer's.
Yeah, he was
Sure,
in
we lived in
Elmer's
Elmer's
house.
house in De Pere.
Very painted blue.
So by
Right.
then,
And we almost froze to death in the house.
so wait,
Yeah.
Elmer. So now Elmer became
Grandma's boyfriend.
Grandma Green's boyfriend. So
Well, he was Grandma's
so Grandma
a long time
Sampo,
before that.
Grandma Sampo here. Her mother is Claire Green. And when did your father pass away?
When he was 50 years old.
So
He didn't see our wedding. He was gone already then.
okay. And then so she had started dating Elmer.
Yeah.
And then you guys moved in with Elmer.
No, Elmer wasn't there anymore, was he?
No, he was in the house. Just we moved in his house. He moved out then.
He moved out, moved in with Grandma.
Okay, we got it on tape.
He moved in with Clara so they could rent his
so
house.
she wasn't going to tell us that Elmer.
And you know,
We
every
lived in his house.
we
We lived
were
there
so
for
close
nothing.
together.
Oh, you lived there for nothing.
Yeah, we lived
And then you
there.
complained it was cold and you didn't have to pay rent.
This sounds a lot
The heating
like
system
my
didn't work
sister
good.
Beth. Living in the house for nothing. Anyway, okay. So you guys lived with Grandma Sampo for a while, and you lived with Elmer for a while, or in Elmer's house.
yeah.
I wasn't there.
And she used to be so worried. She'd come over, take me over by Dolores. She said, I don't think that she can do the washing. And Vernon put the boiler on the stove, a little tiny kerosene stove, to heat the water up. And she says, come on, Elmer, hurry up. Let's take it over by Dolores. Don't hang those clothes. I said, Ma, I'm not Grandpa. I can hang my own clothes. Now I am. But I got a hard time now. But it was funny.
You know who hangs them now.
Yeah, Grandpa.
He doesn't wash.
And you know what, Grandpa, he likes to wash. When we had our first child,
Who was your first child?
Bernard,
Uh-huh.
and then come Judy, and then come Nancy is the last.
Uh-huh.
And so the neighbors would say, look at there, Sampo's got the washing out, he's going to go to work, he washes the diapers, and
So good, Betty.
I'm
Fall asleep yet.
No,
We're not done.
yeah,
Is she lying?
no.
No,
You used to do the wash?
Oh,
I
yeah,
did, I used to.
and got it by hand.
I didn't know
On the
that.
scrub board.
The divers
Or was it rocks
The
by
dive-
this creek?
had to make on the board, you get the brown stuff out the things.
Oh, I can't believe it. Brown stuff out of the diapers?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep
You
moving on.
never
here.
did that. I told you, I'll show you how. Just take the diaper and go in the
Toilet and squish it around.
Okay.
We had a toilet. We didn't have the babies at Elmer's.
So what was the first house? Where was the first house? Is this the first house you guys?
No, St. Paul Street.
St. Paul.
I
St.
was
Paul
born
Street.
there.
Huh?
I was born on St. Paul Street.
Yeah.
Was Bernard Ball?
Yeah, we didn't go there.
Was
We went
Bernard
from
born on
Duck
St.
Creek,
Paul?
from
No,
De
Bernard-
Pere. We rented a house on the east side, and
Oh,
upstairs down over there.
Where was Bernard born?
across the river.
He was
Oh, I
born.
thought
and
he used to
He
live
was
in
born
St.
and lived on what was that, Jefferson?
Jefferson.
Oh, okay. All right.
Were they born in the house or in
No.
Oh no, he went to the hospital.
Did you go to? Was that St. Vincent Hospital or?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
St.
We
Mary's.
old St. Mary's Hospital, you know.
Was on the east side.
Oh, okay. St. Mary's is now on the west side, just for a moment.
No, there's not.
Yeah, St. Mary's is on the west side.
Yeah, it's by
Green
mile.
Bay
yeah.
is Green Bay.
This
It was
one.
in Green Bay.
It was in
In Green Bay.
It's
St. Mary's
not that
on Green
big.
Bay.
Okay.
They were all on Webster Street at one time. Bill and St. Mary's and St.
So,
Vincent's.
so Uncle Werner was born first. He was born in the hospital.
Yeah,
Okay, and then my mom
I was born in
Judy.
the hospital too.
at St. Mary's,
St. Mary's.
And Nancy was born in Bella.
and she was born like 12
9 years later.
Okay.
And then we broke to get them.
We no more kids.
No, I wanted one more because I wanted 2 boys. You know that I had 2 boys. No, and no more. He said, that's enough. I would have liked another
The
one.
only reason we got, that Nancy was born was, she made me a promise that she'd have another kid if I quit drinking.
Big mistake.
Okay, so, and actually that's kind of interesting story too, because Grandpa used to be a pretty heavy drinker, didn't he?
Beer drinking, yeah.
Drink a lot of beer.
Yes,
Up until when?
1952.
At March the 12th, 1952.
So up until then, you were a pretty heavy drinker. And then in 1952, you just stopped cold turkey, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the reason, but a lot of things happened. He had a really bad car accident and almost killed himself.
Oh, yeah.
Hit with the front of the passenger train.
Dragged 100 feet by a passenger train.
Uh-huh. So it wasn't a very good year, 52?
No, that was
No, it happened in 48,
9.
I think was the,
So, and then you just came to the decision that you were going to stop drinking, so you...
We went, the neighbor man next door, he belonged to AAs. So he says, come on along, he's seen the
but they
grandma.
had me to go to AA's, but I had quit drinking already.
Yeah, but he says, come along with me, he said. So we went, and this woman said, you know how I did it? She says, everybody can do the same. She said, I used to take she had whiskey, he never drank whiskey. Take the whiskey, put it in her clothes basket underneath all the clothes, and then when she get downstairs, she said, I put it on the table, and she says, I prayed. I put it down, I said, I prayed. And she said, and she quit, and that's how he did it too. He quit.
So it was with God.
It was God.
Well, they said I quit drinking, and 2 p.m. March the 12th, 1952, I stepped in the can down. I says, I make a promise to the Lord I quit 50 years. I gotta go to the year 2002.
And then you're going to start up drinking again.
Then I started drinking.
And if he does, then I won't be around.
I'll tell you something better than that. These advertising
Then
how
I'll
to
make a
quit,
baby then.
how to quit smoking, buy all this junk they buy to sell, to quit
I
smoking.
like that boy. I want a little boy so
I
bad.
had
Let's have one
I
so
was smoking,
I
I
even
smoked-
asked the doctors.
Okay, only one person talking at a time.
I smoked 2 to 3 packs of cigarettes a day. What happened? When Lent came up, I wouldn't. For 13 years, I never smoked during Lent.
He's telling us a story.
And what happened?
Daddy.
In 1969, when I quit smoking for Lent, I never went back to them.
1969? So you smoked up... Did you smoke for a while, and then you quit it?
2.5 packs.
I smoked 2.5 packs a day or so. I did something just like that.
That's amazing. And you didn't use Nicotrol or anything like that?
No.
And I'll tell you what, funny one thing though. I would smoke during Lent. I had a pack of cigarettes in my drawer where I worked. What happened? One of the guys thought he was going to kid me. They thought, I didn't smoke during Lent. He was going to kid me. Come on. Red, you got a cigarette? Sure. I opened the drawer. I gave him a cigarette. Now wait, he says. There, he says, you said you quit for Lent? Sure. I don't touch him. I'll wait till after Lent. So he couldn't believe it. I had the cigarettes right there, wouldn't touch them.
Why'd they call you red?
We had red hair.
Oh,
Just clarifying that.
I used to, when I ran these newsstands when I first hung around the press gazette,
No, I drink it.
I used to run the newsstands with this truck driver, and I was sitting in this one truck driver's truck until he'd come out, and he'd come out, he didn't know my name. Come on, Red, I gotta go. And ever since then, I've been in Red.
Yeah, but
But you did have red hair.
Well, I have red hair a little bit now.
They used to call you Carrot Top.
But
Well, they
yeah.
called me Carrot Top.
They did you?
And they call me Carrot Top, so... Anyway.
Oh, wow.
You know that guy
Wow,
that,
it runs the family.
I'll tell you something else. That guy that hired me at the Press Gazette, he had me doing all the darndest kinds of jobs around, odd jobs. One guy, he knew I knew how to work in a press, work in a press,
You were a good
The guy, well, running a job press. That's where you feed stuff in and take it out. And what happened? He says, this guy was operating for appendicitis, and he knew, the boss called me down, he says, you hear, he says, Kenny Davison's is operating for appendicitis? Yeah, here's the keys, it's your job, he comes back. I had to run the job press and
Okay, now we've come back to your job. Let's go. Let's keep moving forward. The
He's
How about
making
the
eyes
odd
at
job?
Grandma.
How about the odd job? I used to work at my daddy's every Saturday, cleaning up for a lot of money. I used to work at the Apple store for
Oh, yeah.
my
After
mom
he
pestered me
retired.
so much I quit.
$5 a day.
$5
And
an
you walk
hour.
there.
An hour.
Oh, that's right.
$5 an hour.
Okay. Now, but I'm curious. So, and now, what religion? You guys were Catholic growing up? Is that?
I'm
No.
Catholic,
Grandpa's Catholic.
I was nothing. I wish I would have been something.
Still nothing.
My mother said,
That's-
my mother said, wait till you find a boyfriend and get married, and then you can be the same religion as he is. So I was 16 when I was baptized Catholic. But as years went by, I became a Seventh-day Adventist, and I love where I am. I'm a state, and Grandpa came home from the hospital. He said, "Get your songbook out," and he's like, "You got to sing me to sleep." So I do it. I sang a lot. I cried a lot too.
Uh-huh.
And well, so he said, "Get your songbook." So Andrew stayed with us after he got out of college. My home is broken out. Is it all right if I talk about?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know. What do you want her to talk about?
Is that okay?
Are you talking about grandkids right now? Or are you talking? What do you?
Yeah, well, Andrew's was a grandchild. Is that too far ahead?
Well, yeah. But we'll move into that quickly. So you have 3 children,
Yeah.
Bernard and Nancy. And how many grandchildren do you have? Or did you lose count? Wait,
10, ain't it?
10.
you got 10 grandchildren, which is myself. And
Yeah.
And Beth.
I ain't counting the
Kathy.
husbands.
No, yeah, not husbands.
So just the
You
blood
got
relation.
six great grandchildren.
You have 6 great grandchildren.
Yeah.
Is that all?
Maybe 6. 6 now.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, you got 2, and we got each
Ricky
one
has
of
2
them-
and
Ricky's
Kathy
2 and
has
Kathy's 2.
Okay. And so now we're talking about your grandchildren, who Nancy has. Does she have 8? No?
6.
Six.
Okay. No, it's
Nancy
hard to keep track.
likes kids.
Yeah, Nancy likes kids. She still might have some more.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Is she going to add some more?
that's what I heard. Anyway,
John says no.
okay, so you were
She
talking.
really wants to have more?
John doesn't know.
Oh yeah, Nancy, I'm sure would have more kids.
How old is Nancy?
42. 3. 4.
Well, I wanted to have one. I asked the doctor. He said, no, you're too old already.
Okay, so you spend a lot of time with Nancy's grandkids because they're still the youngest. She still has some kids who are home.
Yeah.
So you were talking about Andrew then.
Andrews wrote me a card from, he was in college at
Take your hand away, Mother. We'll go.
Superior, Wisconsin, and he said, my home is broken up. Grandma, can I come and stay with you and Grandpa this summer? And I said, yes, you can come and stay. I'll pay you room and board. I did take my room and board. He done a lot of things. He helped me put some new screens on my windows. He put that thing in my stove in the kitchen, that thing that comes over the top. And anything I can do for you, Grandma, I'll do. You want new cupboards? I'll put new cupboards in for you. He wanted to put new cupboards in. And I said, no, I'm getting too old for that now. And so I said, anytime you want something different in the house, I'm
Broke
going
it.
to do it for him. I wanted to see him because I didn't go to the wedding. I was sick.
Andrew just got married. So.
Yeah. And I wanted to see it, so we went to the Blessed Hope Baptist Church in De Pere, and I called up first, and they said, I said, is Andrew there today? And she said, yes, would you like to talk to him? And I said, yeah. He's in Bible study, so I said, you know, he said, Nancy, he's the same, he's something like my church is. The Blessed Hope is. Well, he said, and boy, did the minister give the kids help. Hell, I didn't say that because the boys wear their hair so long, and it doesn't say they're supposed to wear their hair long, it's supposed to be short. But, and I said, the marriage is that's going on today, and not living together with their boyfriend and not having had sex. Oh, he really had a good sermon. Did you hear that? He was with there.
He's not having sex with a girlfriend.
Okay, we don't want this.
But wait a minute, we just said Grandma did that.
I was with, weren't you with?
Well, sure I went there. How do you
What?
think she got there?
Okay, the scenario is Andrew got married, and the next weekend or so, they went to Andrew's church so they could see him because they missed the wedding. Grandma
I
missed
missed
the wedding.
Grandpa went there.
So Grandpa took her to the Baptist church in De Pere so they could see Andrew and his new wife.
Thanks for translating.
They
Okay,
You're welcome.
now, so the question: you guys have been married for a long time, haven't you?
How many years? I forgot already.
Try 56.
56.
Okay.
And,
And what's the secret to be married for 56 years?
well, what's the secret? I love him dearly. I guess that's the best thing.
Huh?
I love you dearly. And he says, I holler too much, but I don't mean it.
They go walk with his dog again?
No, there's a rescue.
Grandpa, you gotta answer
Well,
the
who close
question.
the drapes here?
There's a rescue squad there, or a police car.
No way.
Yes, there is.
Probably that little thick flashlight.
Okay, so you love Grandpa.
And you gotta give gotta give in. Both of you give in.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes I give in, and sometimes I go in the bedroom and cry. Oh, I don't know why.
So what's your secret, Daddy?
Crazy.
Are you crazy? You're married to me? Don't put that on there.
It already is.
No,
Okay,
no, never mind.
so is there anything else you want to
Wait,
tell
he's
us?
not done yet.
Okay.
I put up with all that time. I put up with Claire all the time.
He calls me Clara.
Just like her mother.
He said she used to.
He knows everything. You don't know nothing.
Well, it's a woman way.
Go ask Daddy to take it off.
Oh, how she used to run Elmer down. How you lived with her so long and
She never ran Elmer down to me.
oh, you never heard of that.
Nope.
We did.
All right, okay, let's get out of the sample dirt.
Sample dirt.
That's enough now. He said that's enough on that.
Okay, well, I think that's pretty good, unless, can you think of any other questions, John or Mom? Or
We got what?
anything you guys want to tell us more about your life?
Well, we celebrated our 25th anniversary. The neighbors had a 25th anniversary for us, a silver wedding anniversary. And then every one of the neighbors that we celebrated, we went back and celebrated for their anniversary too, the 25th.
Uh-huh.
And then Grandma and grandmother and I get pictures of them. You were at my anniversary too. You were small yet, wasn't it?
Well, it's your 25th, that would have been,
Yeah.
that would have been how many years?
25
27
years
years,
old.
25, so yeah, it'd have been 6, 7 years old.
Yeah, you're there at my anniversary too. And
Pick up,
Betty
everybody
too.
pick up.
And
And that was
I
at
was
your
just
neighbor's?
going to get in the tub to take a bath, and you.
Everybody showed up.
Berta says, "Get out of the tub."
I think it was Mrs. Bartoletti did that.
Huh?
I think it was Mrs.
Oh, so they
Bartoletti.
surprised you on your, for your 25th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're
three
going
of
to
the
do.
neighbors all came over.
Was
Yeah,
that neighbors
you know-
in this area?
Yeah, Wardens,
Next door
Quists,
here and the two to this side.
Wardens, Quists, and Bartolettis.
Barley's, I don't know where they live
But
now.
Karmas too, didn't they? Did we have a Karmas? No, I don't
No,
think
the
so.
Thomas one in it.
And for our grandma had my sisters and them, and who was it? Jean and Jean and Judy. Wasn't that Jean and Judy? Yeah, they were pregnant. They were going to have a baby. Wasn't it? Or June? Jean?
Oh, you broke that.
I was pregnant for
broke that.
Danny
Yeah,
at
that's
the same time Kathy was
You
born.
broke that.
Because they're only a month different in age.
Okay, I gotta tell my two funny grandma and grandpa stories, okay? Because I have two funny grandma and grandpa stories. If you have any, Mom, you can tell them too. I think my funniest story about grandpa, and I think this is a funny story everybody has about grandpa, is that when we lived, gosh, it was when I was in high school, so I'd have been like 16, 17 years old, we had a boxer named Duchess, and grandpa used to come over, and he loved that dog, he used to call it Soup Hound, and Duchess loved him too, and I think Duchess got more attention from grandpa than anyone else, but he used to come over and he'd play around and get her all riled up, and then he'd leave, and he used to, especially like on Saturdays when I would sleep in and still be in bed like at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning, grandpa would come over and he'd take her Duchess's tennis ball and throw it up on the bed, and then she would jump up and scratch and try to find her ball, and then I'd have to push her up. And then one time grandpa came over, and it must have been the weekend, we were all gone, and because of my relationship with my sister, I used to keep my door locked and with a little padlock, and grandpa didn't know that, so he came over and he thought that Duchess must have been gone or something. Do you remember that, grandpa?
She was dead already.
No, she wasn't dead. Do you think she was dead? Anyway, whatever. Grandpa kicked the door in, so just like around a movie, and he knocked the whole door off its hinges. Remember that, Grandpa?
Yeah, but then when I found out, I thought Beth did it.
I thought that jumped.
I thought Beth did it. So then, yes, he did.
Yeah.
And we were outside talking, and I said, "You can't believe this, Uncle Sonny."
Diaper?
Beth
Did you need your-
knocked the door down. I looked, and he had a silly grin on his face. And I knew he did it then.
Anyways, that's my funny grandpa story. Now, my funny grandma story was when we lived out in can you take him? When we lived out in Howard Swamico, my mom and dad had built a really beautiful house out in the country that we lived in when I was from being like 10 years old until 13 years old. And I can remember that Grandma was over watching us once in the summer and staying with us. And the way that the house was set up on the master bedroom, which is the front of the house, there was a ledge that went around the front of the house. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And my grandma didn't know that, so I walked around, and we were on the second story, and I walked over to the thing when my grandma was like putting things away. This was shortly after we moved in. And I grabbed onto the window, kind of like I had fallen, and I was hanging onto the window and standing there with Grandma, help me, I'm falling. And I was like on the window, and she came over the window, and she tried to open the window and stuff like that to try to help me out. Anyway,
And the window's cranked out.
And then I just let go, and we got a laugh out of it. But that was the funniest grandma story. That was my grandma story.
Now I have some stories for you kids.
Where's our kids?
Okay.
Time.
Yeah,
He's getting pretty difficult.
yeah, it's about 8:15, so we gotta wrap up soon. But tell us some funny stories, and we're gonna wrap up.
Not about me.
They can be about Mom. That would be real fun.
You want me to tell him about you and Effie?
No, tell them about. You remember the time I love the jelly bean story?
We've already heard the jelly bean story.
Not on tape.
No, you can tell it later when we interview you. Okay, so what's a funny story about Beth and I?
Oh, your ma was, you were gone, and your husband. No, you were gone on a trip. And you said you'd come to stay with the kids.
That is funny.
And she said, and we went and looked at some land. Where was it? I don't know where it was anymore, so long ago. But you stay here and you get the kids. You get the kids.
Easter basket. And I told you where everything was.
Yeah, and so I hid the Easter baskets. You actually went to bed, I hid them. And Bethy said, when you get near where they were, I'd say it's hot, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold. When they get near it, I say it's hot, it's hot. And so finally Bethy said, well, Danny, I'll show you where it is. She tattled. She said, come on, she's in the bedroom in the closet. I said, you shouldn't have told him. Well, he would have never found it. He would have never found it.
Leave it to Beth. One time we were on a trip. We went to Las Vegas, and we were coming home on Easter Sunday. So Easter Eve, they had to make the baskets up. And Danny and Beth really didn't believe in the Easter Bunny anymore. But Grandpa took them for a little ride, and they didn't remember being gone. And Grandma hid the Easter baskets, and when we got home, Danny said, you know, Mom, I didn't believe in the Easter Bunny anymore. But how did you get these baskets? You were gone!
I do remember being very confused about that whole issue. Okay. Anything else, or?
Nothing we can share.
This will be off the record. Okay, well, I just want to say that we used to spend quite a bit of time with Grandma and Grandpa growing up. And I can remember some of the special times, because we used to stay overnight here and we used to like try to catch squirrels in the back with some of the other kids in the block. We'd stay overnight. And Grandma and Grandpa used to take us to Santa's Village down in Illinois, too, and that was a big...
Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, that was some of the funnest times that we had. At least with my sister and I. So, but I really love them and appreciate them. So we want to have them on tape for our kiddos to see always. So, anyway.
And you know, they're nice to have, because when I had that one I wanted to show my friend, she wanted to see the color television, I wanted to show it to her. But when Alec was born, and I said, I couldn't look at it because Jean was gone already, and I said, I cried so much that I said, I can't show it now, I have to wait until I get over this. And so now I know she isn't going to come back, so, but maybe when the Lord comes back.
Gentle.
But
Okay.
it's hard when you...
No.
Get them gentle. So, okay. Well, I think that's it. Press fade before we go out. And then, I think we're going to close now. So,
Okay.
Thanks for doing a little interview.
Okay.
And
Someday I'll see the pictures. Well, maybe I won't be around to see it, though.
oh no, we'll show you. We'll put it onto the tape, and I'll show you the tape next time. So, okay, say thank you.